Hi guys, this is Rafiq Wayani here again. I'm going to be showing you how you can create a DNS server in Red Hat Enterprise Linux version 7.2 from scratch. This is also going to go pretty fast. Please take a look. Here I am. I just installed the bind package. That's going to be my DNS server inside of Linux, and I'm going to then begin configuring it. I'm going to edit the named.conf file in the etc directory, and I'm going to specify that I want to listen on port 53 and the IP address 10.10.10.5, which is the IP address of this machine that I've got. I'm going to start the named service, which is essentially the DNS server, and I'm going to edit the host file. And in the host file, I'm going to give this machine a name. In this case, I'm just going to assign it the name RHEL7. To the loopback address, I'm going to make it rhel7webserver.org. I'm going to give my own IP the address of RHEL7, and that's the IPv6 ::1 rhel7webserver.org. Even though I'm not using IPv6, I did it anyway to complete it. I'm going to ping this machine. I'm going to ping this machine by host name, and it does ping, and I'm going to assign this machine a host name of RHEL7 so that I know it resolves to that. I'm going to ping RHEL7, make sure it resolves. In this case, it is to the local loopback address, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to then run netstat, and I'm going to try and see if port 53 is open, because I started the DNS service, and port 53 is being listened on to my local IP address 10.10.10.5 and the loopback address. I'm going to open firewall ports. I'm going to open firewall port 53 for TCP and UDP, so that DNS resolution can be done using this DNS server. So here I am adding a port 53 TCP onto this machine, making it permanent, and I'm going to do the same thing with UDP, and I'm going to reload the firewall. After that, I'm going to run nmap to check to see if the TCP and UDP ports are essentially open. And there's the 53 TCP port that's open, and I'm going to do the same thing for the UDP port. There it is, so I can see the UDP port open as well. Once I have run nmap, I'm going to create a directory called etc bind zones master, which is just a directory I chose, and I'm going to edit a brand new file in there. That's going to be my zones file, I'm going to call it db.webserver.org, which is my domain that I created, that I'm creating, and I'm going to complete it. You want to pay attention to that file in real life very closely. Once that file is constructed, I'm going to go back into the named.conf file, and I'm going to add that zone in with that file that I just created. That file that I just built, that I fast forwarded if you will, you want to pause on that and take a look at that file. And here I am adding that zone file. I'm adding the zone as well inside of the named.conf directory and named.conf file, and I'm adding the zone file that I just constructed, db.webserver.org. Once I add this file and I add the webserver.org zone, I'm going to, as you can see right over here, once the zone has been added, I'm going to go back into named.conf, and I'm going to change allow query from localhost to any. Once I do that, I'm going to restart the name daemon, which is essentially my DNS server. I'm going to check to see if it's running and using dig, and there it is. So I just installed a DNS server inside of Red Hat Enterprise Linux from scratch. Thank you for watching.